the NBA is once the shot has been released, you're allowed to hit the guy's arm. And so what's happened in the league this year is players always they're going to outsmart, the rules. They know what they're doing. So players all over the league are just taking shots at guys' shooting hands after release because they know it's not going to be a foul. And I'm very confident that next year the league will fix it because it's only a matter of time before somebody, breaks a thumb or breaks a hand or whatever. But these are the rules. I do believe they're allowed to call a flagrant if they want. The refs could call a flagrant if the guy winds up and takes a shot. But no, it's been happening across the league all year long. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but we have to take it through the league process to get that changed, and that'll probably happen this summer, I would guess. No, I don't think it's impacting him. It's just, again, it's players are going to do whatever they're allowed to do, and so after every release, Steph's getting hit, but it's basically within the rules. So this is how the league wants it right now, and I know we got 30 coaches who all think it's just idiotic that we allow this. So we'll have to take it through the competition committee, all that stuff this summer, and eventually we'll get it fixed. But right now, this is how the league works. Whatever the rules are, the players they're all really, really smart, and you can't blame them at all for doing whatever it takes to win the game. It's the highest level of competition on earth, and so it is what it is.
Within 2 weeks, 2 headlines rocked Golden State. Draymond Green fined $50,000 for questioning officiating integrity, and Stephen Curry's injured thumb repeatedly targeted with no calls. Are these isolated incidents? History suggests the Golden State Warriors have always commanded attention. However, this postseason, it's gone beyond game strategy. A bigger question is now floating around. Are the media and refs actually against the Warriors? Let's start connecting the dots. Game 3 of the Western Semifinals. Draymond Green fouls out with just over 4 minutes left. At 15.2 seconds remaining, cameras capture him mouthing, 5.5. I know what y'all doing. A straight reference to the 5.5 point betting spread. The league responded with a $50,000 fine for questioning the integrity of game officials.
According to Shams, Draymond was fined $50,000 for making an inappropriate comment that questioned the integrity of the game officials during Game 3. Cameras caught Dre on the sideline mouthing 5.5 spread during timeout after he fouled out.
Draymond just need to chill. Draymond, everybody loves Draymond, he talking about everybody after him because he do it. Draymond, you do something every time. They ain't calling this because you Draymond. You do something. They really give you a break, Draymond, and you still holler and cuss the official out every. If I was official, Draymond would be out of the game by the third time down the court. He'll be out the game.
But he do that.
They trying to get people get.
He does that because he know once he gets one, they're going to be very reluctant to give him that second tech and throw him out of the game because they don't want to influence the game.
Right.
Hey, I wouldn't be worried about influencing the game. I mean, I ain't gonna let somebody cuss me out, average 6-7 points a game. I mean, Draymond got to get a triple double. He got to get a triple double. I know he said he feel good about this team. Butler coming, make this last playoff run with Curry, but the Curry got hurt. The team just seemed like they didn't have no more juice. They played to a limit, but sooner or later you need talent. You got to have talent on the floor to win.
On Shannon Sharpe's nightcap, Charles Oakley didn't hold back. He joked that if he were the official, Draymond would have been ejected by the third trip down the court. Sharpe laughed, adding that refs hesitate to toss a star like Draymond because it would look like they're deciding the game. This points to the fact that Draymond's reputation precedes him, and when that reputation drives league action, perception starts mimicking bias. Now, let's rewind around. Game 5 against Houston. Dylan Brooks repeatedly targets Stephen Curry's injured thumb immediately after his shot release. NBC Sports Bay Area called it live. Kalena Azubaiki dubbed it a high five contest.
Draymond, Steve mentioned he noticed that defenders, when they're closing out, they're trying to like almost hit Steph's thumb as he's shooting. Have you noticed that, or how much have you seen that, especially in these playoffs?
Oh, yeah, I noticed it. I think it's pretty obvious, but it is what it is.
Do you think the league should crack down on it at all?
I'm not one to come to cry to you about what the league should do. I see enough people cry about me, and I lose respect for those people when they cry about me, so I would not allow somebody to lose respect for me over that. It's all good.
What was your reaction at the end when Pat and Trace got into it with Şengün?
It's beautiful. You don't back down from anybody, and they didn't, so I like it.
Cognizant are you about the way that they're closing out on your jump shot, particularly, swiping down on your thumb?
You don't think about it. If it's a foul, they should call it. That's it. If it's a foul, they should call it.
No, I don't think it's impacting him. It's just, again, it's players are going to do whatever they're allowed to do. And so after on every release, Steph's getting hit. But it's basically within the rules. So this is how the league wants it right now. And, I know we got 30 coaches who all think it's just idiotic that we allow this. So we'll have to take it through the competition committee, all that stuff this summer, and eventually we'll get it fixed. But right now, this is how the league works. Whatever the rules are, the players they're all really, really smart, and you can't blame them at all for doing whatever it takes to win the game. It's the highest level of competition on earth, and so it is what it is.
I mean, you're the third player in NBA history to record the stat line that you had tonight. The other two were Rick Barry and Hakeem Olajuwon. What does that mean to you personally?
I mean, being in any list with Hakeem obviously means a lot. Rick Barry too, but just because I still see Hakeem now, he always shows love. So being on a list with him means a lot.
Kerr called the loophole the dumbest thing and predicted someone would break a thumb if the NBA doesn't change it. Curry stayed calm, but Draymond didn't, and the oft officials let it play out. The game ends 131 to 116 in Houston's favor. And once again, officiating, or lack thereof, becomes the discussion. Historically, the NBA changes its tone every postseason. It's the same game, but referees call it differently. During the regular season, refs are quicker to blow the whistle on contact to protect stars and keep scoring high. However, when the playoffs begin, the league has mostly embraced a more physical approach. Fouls become harder to draw, borderline contact gets ignored, and players are expected to play through it. That surprising change affects Golden State more than most teams because their offense revolves around movement, spacing, and shooters coming off screens. Steph Curry, at average 38.3 minutes per playoff and 45-30 in Game 7, constantly runs through traffic. Even light hand checks, bumps, or swipes take a toll over 7 games. The Rockets exploited this perfectly. Dylan Brooks didn't need to commit obvious hacks. He just needed to tap Curry's injured thumb on follow-throughs, knowing referees rarely whistle that contact in May. It's technically part of playoff basketball, but the impact is that Curry adjusts his release, loses rhythm, and the Warriors' offense sputters. Though it's not a conspiracy, it's the culture of postseason officiating. Physical defenders like Brooks or Marcus Smart thrive in this environment because refs expect stars to absorb punishment. Golden State isn't built to dish that out, but avoid it. That mismatch fuels the perception of bias, even if it's just a playoff officiating philosophy playing out in real time. To understand why Steve Kerr was furious, we need to look at the rule itself. According to the NBA rulebook, contact on the shooter's hand after the ball is released is generally not a foul. Officials treat it as part of the follow-through motion, often called the high five rule. The intent was that defenders should be allowed to contest shots without fear of phantom whistles. But like every loophole, players learn to abuse it. Instead of clean contests, defenders now swipe down on shooters' hands deliberately, especially when they know an opponent is injured. It's legal unless the ref judges it hostile or excessive. In practice, those calls almost never happen. Kerr wasn't just speaking for Golden State. Around the league, coaches hate this rule because it leaves shooters exposed. Last season, Rudy Gobert was fined for a money gesture, accusing refs of gambling favoritism. This year, Curry simply took hit after hit with no foul call. Both cases evidently show how unclear enforcement has become. The fix isn't complicated. Make any deliberate hand contact on follow through an automatic foul, or at least reviewable for flagrant intent. Until then, defenders will keep testing the limit. If Curry can be hit on every jumper without consequence, what stops a defender from trying to break rhythm or even cause genuine injury? Indeed, this is not a Warriors exclusive issue. However, since Curry is the NBA's most prolific shooter, it becomes their issue first, and the perception of bias grows with every uncalled swipe.
As two Houston defenders descend on him, Rockets guard Jalen Green gained control and attempted to call a timeout while Kuminga tried to pry the ball away from him. A whistle blew at that point, but rather than calling a jump ball or a Rockets timeout, referee Bill Kennedy awarded a foul to Houston. Jalen Green gets 2 free throws with just 4 seconds left on the clock. Green made both to give the Rockets the lead. Then Jabari Smith Jr. blocks Brandon Pajimski's buzzer beater attempt to clinch Houston's win and deny the Dubs a spot in Las Vegas for the semis. Warriors coach Steve Kerr was furious after the game and ripped into the refs in his post-game interview.
I've never seen a loose ball foul on a jump ball situation 80 feet from the basket with the game on the line. I've never seen that. I don't even understand what just happened. You know, loose ball, diving on the floor, 80 feet from the basket, and you're going to give a guy 2 free throws to decide the game when people are scrambling for the ball. Just give them a timeout. Give them a timeout and let the players decide the game. That's how you officiate, especially because the game was a complete wrestling match. You know, they didn't call anything.
He argued that the game's officials had allowed plenty of physical play to that point and that the foul called on Kuminga was hardly the only contact that occurred during the fight for the rebound off Curry's miss. "I'm pissed off," the former Chicago Bulls player said.
I'm not ready to answer that question. I'm pissed off. I wanted to go to Las Vegas. We wanted to win this cup. We aren't going because of a loose ball foul 80 feet from the basket with the game on the line. I've never seen anything like it in my life, and that was ridiculous.
The chef also had some grievances of his own. The Warriors superstar was upset that a foul wasn't called on one of his shot attempts earlier in the fourth quarter and expressed his frustration at that decision and the game-winning free throw decision during his post-match interview. Curry's coach, Steve Kerr, also called out the refs for not calling the hit on Curry on the jump shot.
The game was a complete wrestling match. You know, they didn't call anything. Steph Curry got hit on the elbow, plain as day on a jump shot, just clubbed right on there, no call.
While the press was focused on the Jalen Green free throw, the pundits at ESPN's Inside the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, called out another missed foul that the refs ignored in the game. While Brandon Pajimski's shot was blocked, a foul was committed near the basket, giving a free throw to the Warriors, which would have given them a chance to potentially snatch the game at the last second.
They didn't even have the ball. So Gary Payton got fouled when he was on the floor by the Rockets and they didn't call. So the last chance. That's a foul right there. That was a foul right there.
Clearly, we have seen it all, but do you think the Warriors are being targeted by the refs this season, or are these incidents just honest oversights that could happen to any team in the NBA?
Now let's add the Swish Central breakdown, where a series of clips illustrate a worrying pattern. First, it shows techs on Draymond, especially in heated moments. Then it highlights missed contact on Curry, including near-blocked shot attempts. It also shows players in foul trouble at the worst possible times and uses this recurring rhetoric. Warriors are the aggressor. So you see, it's not just what's happening, but how the media frames it, how refs adjudicate, and how every incident adds weight to the narrative that the Warriors are treated differently. If we put these all together, Curry's hand is fair game because playoffs are physical, even when the rule hasn't kept pace. Next, Draymond's off-court frustration becomes a headline and a fine for questioning officiating. 30 coaches want the rule changed, but today, that contact stays in play. Finally, an outlet shows how even small officiating patterns accumulate into a perception and maybe reality of bias. Is it an outright conspiracy? Well, perhaps no. But the pattern is true and increasingly hard to ignore. The media and refs may not be against the Warriors consciously, but the messaging, the rules, and how they get applied have certainly made it feel that way. What's your take? Are these just basketball dynamics or something more concerning? Comment below. Like if you agree, and subscribe for more interesting breakdowns. Stay tuned.